All right, y'all. So I know it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos, but this is one that I wanted to do for quite a while, and I'm a little disappointed at myself for not doing it. But nonetheless, here it is. So, um, we have to ask ourselves, especially in the quote unquote black community, tough questions. Well, not they're actually not tough questions, but what people may consider tough questions in this day and age, which in itself is part of the problem. And that is, what is our purpose? Like what are we doing? You know? And are we all on the same page with that? Like if we were to ask, just a poll of 1,000, 10,000, you know, are they all going to echo the same thing, the same sentiment, the same goals? Are they all going to have the same outlook? Obviously probably not, because people's perspective are different. But at the same time, when you look at what I would call successful quote unquote races, these people have common goals in mind and a structure that is deeply entwined due to their cultural backgrounds and then community standards. And, those of you that, listen to the podcast and have listened to me before in the past, you know where I'm going with this already. Now, I say this to say we have to take control of our situations. We have to take control of our lives. We have to be accountable for our actions. I'm not sitting here saying that, like there isn't things out there that, the quote unquote white man has done and the quote unquote white man is, there's definitely issues out there, systemic issues and things of that sort. But I mean, like, just look around. If you want to just continue that same old train with, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for the white man to give me respect and treat me as an equal and all sorts of stuff, then you know what? You're just gonna be just like your father. But most of y'all probably don't have a father. No offense, I'm just saying, statistically speaking. And if you don't like what I'm saying, then, help change that. So, you're going to wind up like your mother or your grandmother and just out there, just living in fear, and then spreading that fear down to the future generations to always be afraid of the white man. And, you need the white man to come and freaking, pat you on the back and tell you that, oh, okay, now you're equal, and give you that proverbial hug. No, we can't be living like that. We can't be waiting like that. We have to be accountable for our own, period point blank, and until then, we will never be taken serious by one another. We'll never be taken serious by one another. And then, therefore, by extension, we won't be taken serious by any other races, quote unquote races, because we all know races is not a real thing. All right, it's a man-made construct. But I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm going to repeat it one more time. For instance, in the quote unquote black community, if you're a quote unquote black man and you go back to your house after listening to, these videos or any other videos that you might have heard or seen, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take control of my situation and my environment, and then you go back and then you have these freaking these quote unquote black women, giving you a hard time, like, oh, this nigga this nigga that, yada yada yada. Look, man, you cannot let them, get you out of it. Because they're going to try, because obviously they don't want to lose the power. Right now, the power structure in the black community is given straight to the woman. We live in a matriarch right now. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 90%. 90% is like that. We can change that. And we have to change that. And it starts in the house. Because if you go back to that house, black man, and you say, hey, from now on, we're going to do things like this, like that, and you're taking over your home and you're being the man that you're supposed to be, then we can't have the women not getting on board or trying to disrespect you. Because if you're trying to, demand respect in your own household, in your own community, and then you have these women coming and combating you, No, man. No. What do you think the other races think when they see this? And I'm not just talking to the men, I'm talking to the women too. What do you think they see when they see this? No offense, quote unquote black women or any, melanated women or women of darker hue, but do you think that these other races see the women as threats? No, 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 you're not the threat. You're not the threat. And that's just the reality of it. And I know I'm just going to be a lot of, like gung ho, Miss Independence out there that's probably going to take offense to what I'm saying. But, that's fine. Because I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm talking based off what I see, my perspective and where we're trending towards. Okay? So, no, you're not the threat. Because if you were the threat, you'd be the one overpopulating the prisons instead of the men. We have a patriarchy going on right now instead of a matriarchy. And some of this stuff dates back pre-slavery, and then I know a lot of you probably learned about it during slavery, but nonetheless, I don't want to get too far off base from the overall topic of this video that I'm about to show for you, but just I'm trying to just layer some perspective into this in some context before I actually play the video. Now, the video that I'm about to show you is a video that I saw on the Roland Martin YouTube channel. Now, for those of you who don't know, Roland Martin is a quote unquote black man, older gentleman, probably about in his like maybe 50s, 60s. I don't know. You know how it is. Black don't crack. So who the hell knows how old Roland is? But he's definitely older than me, and he has his own platform. I think he was on TV1 at a point in time, whatever. But he's done interviews with a whole bunch of people. He's not like a big name, per se, but in quote unquote black circles, he's definitely a somebody. And I'm not knocking the brother, because I do believe that in his heart, as Skip Bayless would say, in his heart of hearts, that he does mean well. But I think that one, he's way too emotional. Now, I'm not sure if he grew up with a father figure around or not, but he has a lot of female tendencies, which personally just rubbed me the wrong way. But for the sake of this video, he's going to show a video of Tamika Tillery speaking at some kind of, I don't know what the event was, but she's speaking about the prosecutor in the Breonna Taylor case. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you know about the Breonna Taylor case. If you don't know about it, just Google it, and then come back and watch this video. But for those of you who do know, well, let's just get a few things out the way first. Now, Breonna Taylor, she was gunned down in her apartment. The police came and they issued a no-knock warrant, which is legal in that state. Her boyfriend had a gun, legal. He heard people, rummaging outside the door and barging in and stuff like that. So then, he shot his gun, and that's well within his right. Long story short, they exchanged fire. Actually, it wasn't even so much of an exchange. The ballistics team said that there was only one shot fired from the boyfriend's gun, and then it was like at least 12, 15, maybe 20 shots. I forget because this happened a while ago. Fired from the police into the apartment. Now, with all that being said, Breonna Taylor was struck a few times, and then she did pass away that night. It's very, very unfortunate. And it's sad. It's sad. And I'm not going to try to sit here and say, oh, well, you get what you deserve. Nothing like that. I'm not doing that. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about is we have to put ourselves in better positions to not have certain things happen to us. Now, for instance, anyone could die any day. Just you can be jogging outside. A truck could pop the curb, a car could pop the curb, whatever. Anything can happen to you. But we need to limit our exposure to certain events and environments. Now, supposedly, the police were, executing this no-knock warrant in search for her ex-boyfriend, who was, supposedly, and I don't know, I don't know, this could be true or not, some kind of drug dealer in the neighborhood, and he, they were trying to get him. Now, with that being said, look, if you associate with, less than reputable people, or the derelicts of the world, then you know what, you're gonna, that energy is gonna rub off on you, or it actually might even bring your energy down. You know you can't. And I'm gonna sit here and say that, oh, she died because of that. Listen, all I know is that she was dating some other guy prior, and that's the guy they wanted. Now, they were at the wrong address, but everything that they did was legal. A shot was fired, and what transpired was legal. So going into it, I knew that it was going to be slim to none that these officers were going to be prosecuted. And not for nothing, the case, what happened a long time ago, almost like maybe over a year now, or just about a year. And then nothing came of it, and then until people started finding out about it, and then they started talking, and then they pushed for this, like, mainstream, like, oh, we're gonna do this. And the whole time I'm saying to myself, that's not really, I don't see anything coming from this, because in those states, I'm not sure if any of you have ever been to an open carry state, or states where stand your ground laws, or states where, anything like that. Like, it should pop off. It pops off. And then that's just how it is. So, it's about legality. Were the cops legally wrong for shooting into that apartment? No, they weren't. They were executing a right. And they were executing a warrant. Cops get warrants signed by judges that deem that, okay, you can go and do X, Y, and Z based off of this warrant. So the cops go. The cops don't go with freaking pen and paper. They go with their guns and handcuffs. That's what they go for. Now, if you think that needs to be changed, that's a conversation for a whole different day. But we're talking about based off the legality. Anyway, I want to get to the video. So, long story short, for one, I was like, nah, just this. They're not gonna get prosecuted, because out of all the cases that people could have been prosecuted over, this one, there's not really, nothing there. They didn't do anything wrong. It's not like they went in there, they kicked her on the floor, and they freaking made her freaking, scream for her life or whatever. It was nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, bad juju, wrong place, wrong time. Associating with the wrong people prior that, made your house a point of interest or location of interest. And it's very unfortunate. But to this video, Tamika Tillery is going to try to lambaste the prosecutor in the Breonna Taylor case. Now, in doing so, I want to point out, and I want a lot of you to look at the energy that she has when she's speaking and how she's speaking. And obviously, I'm going to, stop and chime in as, the video goes.
Tamika Mallory, co-founder of Until Freedom, they have been protesting there. Their team actually has moved to Louisville. She did not hold back in blasting the Attorney General of Kentucky.
You mentioned at the press conference, which I thought was quite interesting, that he's a black man. And
So, real fast, like, what's that supposed to mean, he's a black man? Now, a lot of you already know my stance on that. Okay, black is a color. Black's a color, blue's a color, red's a color. All right? So the moniker I do not accept, and we as a people need to move away from said moniker. But even still, he identified as a quote-unquote black man, as she stated, and then she rolled her eyes as if she is the divine title giver, and that's very telling. That these women, especially in the quote-unquote black community, feel like they can question a man's quote-unquote blackness.
I laid and cried and hurt.
Hold on, let me rewind it back a little bit so you don't miss nothing.
He's a black man. And as I laid and cried and hurt for Tamika Palmer, and for Breonna Taylor, and for Kenny Walker.
She laid, she cried, and she hurt for all those people that were killed due to police violence. She laid, she cried, she hurt. I wonder if she's laid, cried, or hurt for any of the people killing each other in Chicago. Like one of my older brother's favorite rappers in Chicago just got killed on some bullshit that these niggas is rapping about. Like it's like a soap opera in real life. Like they are dead ass talking about, oh, you shot my cousin, you killed my cousin, I'm gonna come kill you. And the niggas is getting shot and killed. You don't see anybody seeking no justice out there. Nothing. I don't see Tamika Tillery out there. I don't see anybody out there doing nothing about that. So, am I one of those freaking like, oh, all lives matter? Well, to a degree, yes, because do all lives matter? Yes. Outside of, like pedophiles and, just like very low sociopathic people, yeah, no. Those people, fuck them. They got to go. Actually, a lot of y'all motherfuckers got to go. And we'll get to that in later episodes. But yeah, nah, a lot of y'all got to go too. But anyway, this chick, I don't know her obviously, so I'm not gonna try to overstep my boundaries and making assumptions. But is she crying every day? Is she weeping for all the thousands, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of the black fetuses that get aborted every day, every month, every year? Is she? Is she? I don't know. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure if I was to ask her, are you pro-life or pro-choice? Pretty sure I know what her answer would be. Pretty sure, especially with the tone that she's speaking about a quote unquote black man. She's on this platform speaking about a quote unquote black man who, again, in my opinion, based off of the law, didn't do anything wrong. He went by the law. So this is a common tactic that these super wokey and these liberals, super liberals, like to use, which is oh, I'm going to try to, question your blackness, or I'm going to call you Uncle Tom, or yada, yada, yada. And you know what? Listen, you see on the stage, she's surrounded by, except for that one dude that looks white, but she's surrounded by a bunch of dudes, a bunch of brothers, right? All them niggas is simps. All them niggas is simps. Because if any one of them had their own free mind, free thought, and it was something outside of what she believed in or deemed to be correct, guarantee you she'd be talking crazy out her mouth to one of them niggas. And this dude is holding a microphone for her. So no, those are simps. I know a lot of you asking you, what's a simp? What's a simp? These niggas is simps. You're surrounded by this woman like, oh yeah, preach God, princess, my black Nubian princess. Come on, man. Look, listen. Let's just cut that shit the fuck out. And excuse my language, but you know what? I'm getting real sick and tired of this shit. So enough is enough.
And for Janiyah, who we need to love up on.
Is she loving up in the hospitals or at the Planned Parenthoods when these women are having abortions? A question for her: have you ever had an abortion? I guess that's a pretty personal question, but is it personal when a lot of these abortions get subsidized by taxpayer money? No, I don't know. I don't think so at that point. If a dime of taxpayer money goes to something like that, then you know what? It should be fucking public record. Excuse my language, but if people could look up my taxes to see how much I pay for my house or for anything that I own, and on my taxes or whatever I'm writing off, then you know what? If my taxes are going towards something, then that should be on it too. Period. Point blank. But that's another conversation for another day. Should taxpayers' money be going towards abortions and Planned Parenthood? That's a conversation for a different day. Let me know if y'all want to hear about that.
Laid there, and I thought about him saying he's a black man. I thought about the ships that went into Fort Monroe and Jamestown with our people on them over 400 years ago. And how there were also black men on those ships that were responsible for bringing our people over here.
All right, so a few things right there. Yes, there were slaves taken from the west coast of Africa brought over to America. No, are the numbers accurate or correct that they say millions and millions? No, that's not correct. Did every single quote-unquote black person that you see over here in North America come from the west coast of Africa? No, that is also not correct. There were Aboriginal people here already. Obviously, we know the Native Americans were here because that story gets told. We know about them. But there were people here before them who were quote unquote what you would consider or call black today, who came over thousands of years before the Native Americans, and there were different sects of these people and groups that came over different pieces at different points in time in history. They came over. So no, not every single quote unquote black person you see here in America came from the west coast of Africa. That is not true. That is false. But that is a narrative that continues to be pushed, because with that narrative being pushed, what they're also pushing is, oh yes, every single one of you were a slave mentality. You were inferior, we were superior. You had to fight for your rights. We barely gave you your rights. Actually, you don't even have rights. You're still slaves to this day. So no, that's another narrative that we need to let shake, get rid of that shit. But you know what? As long as we have women out here, and not trying to knock women, I love women. You know what I'm saying? Women are great. You know, they're beautiful in their right position, in their right mind. But should she be up here talking about some stuff that she doesn't know about? No, she should be up here just talking about her emotions. She just said she was over here crying and don't know all this stuff. Now she want to be on stage. Hey, you know what? Take your time. Take your time. Console your thoughts. Get your mind right, and then talk to somebody. Talk to your man if you have a man. I don't know if you have a man. And talk to your man, and if he's a simp, then you know what, dump him, get a new man. You know what I'm saying? Talk to that man, and then bounce those ideas off each other's heads before you come out here and you get on the stage and start talking, trying to question a quote unquote black man who happens to be an attorney general. And now I'm sure a lot of them wokey wokes will be like, oh well, he's Uncle Tom, that's why he's up there, Come on, all right, okay, yeah. So all y'all, y'all can stop watching the video right now. Everyone else that's very serious about what's going on and seriously trying to understand the dynamics of the world that we live in and how we can maneuver and how we should maneuver and what our next steps should be, then yes, continue to watch this video. Watch all the videos that I've ever done. Listen to the podcast. Stay tuned, because there's a lot more. So anyway, Miss Tamika Tillery should listen to her man and allow her man to say, hey, ground her a little bit. Like, all right, look, first and foremost, when you're talking about that slavery narrative, come on, like, read a book. Read a book. Hold on. I'm going to let this finish because I'm going a little longer than I wanted to.
Daniel Cameron is no different than the sellout Negroes that sold our people into slavery.
So, Daniel Cameron is a sellout. I'm assuming he sold out the quote-unquote people because he said he couldn't charge any of the police officers in the killing of Breonna Taylor. Now, I don't know how that is selling out because, again, if you strip away your emotions and you just look at it completely objective with knowing what state this took place in, what rules and regulations, or what's the law of the land for that state, in essence, pardon me, then it's not that difficult to understand that there's not much you can use to indict these police officers for. Because if that's the case, every time any police group in that state exercises a no-knock warrant and someone gets shot, just shot, then they're liable to be sued. Especially if the other party shot as well. Now again, there's people saying, "Oh well, they didn't say who they were, or whatever." Listen, we don't know. We weren't there. I heard the boyfriend say that he didn't hear anything. The police said that they did. Do with that information what you will. We don't know that. We do know that he shot, they shot, someone died.
And helped white men to capture our people, to abuse them and to traffic them while our women were raped, while our men were raped by savages. That is who you are, Daniel Cameron. You are a coward. You are a sellout. And you were used by the system to harm your own mama, your own black.
See, and this is part of the narrative, and this is all this energy that she's using. No, we need to expel that. We need to expel that. You don't need to be up there on stage talking about another man, especially when you are wrong. First, you don't need to be on stage talking about a man. Period. Point blank. Only man you should be talking about is your man if you have one, man. Period. And then no, that's not misogynistic. That's called order. Order. I'm not sure if she has a man. I'm not sure if she has kids or not. But you know what? If she does have kids, she should be home with the goddamn kids, making sure that they won't wind up like Breonna Taylor, or they won't wind up like any other people of the people that she was saying that she's losing sleep over. That's what she should be doing. Not up here trying to, use all this energy talking about a quote unquote black man who happens to be an attorney general. I'm pretty sure he had to work to that spot. I'm pretty sure, he wasn't just gifted that because he was black. Pretty sure he's not just a nobody. I'm pretty sure he's a somebody. So when you speak about people, you need to keep that respect in mind. And this is a thing that most men do and most women don't. Again, and this is why we cannot have them. Like, look at this photo. You see all these guys around her. And she's speaking. She's the mouthpiece. And if they're up there holding the mic behind her with the hands up, you know what they say? That's saying, yes, I agree with everything you're saying. Yes, keep going. Speak for me. Speak for me. No, that's the problem. That's the problem. No woman speaks for me. And again, it's nothing against women at all. This is just, I'm a man. I speak for myself. I'm a man. No woman speaks on behalf of me. Nobody speaks on behalf of me. I speak for myself as a man. I say what's on my mind. I think of solutions. And that's how I move, according to solutions that I come up with. Now, do I seek counsel with other men in my life from time to time? Like my stepfather, my brothers, my closest friends? Yes, of course. I'm not a robot. Not telling anyone out there to be a robot. But even my mother, do I take advice from my mother? Yes. Certain things, yes. In order. There's certain questions I know, I just shouldn't ask my mother for advice about. Men and women are not equal. Now, is that me saying, oh, men are better, women are... No, I'm not. I never said that. So if you already heard what I just said and you started clickety-clacking on your goddamn phone, then you're part of the problem. No. Men and women are not equal. Just like cats and dogs are not equal. Does that make one better than the other? I don't know. I guess it's a preference at that point. But no. Men and women, we complement each other. Together, we are great. We are exponentially better together when we're complementing one another than we are apart from one another. So I will never sit here and try to denigrate or downgrade women in any way, shape, or form. That is not what this is about. What this is about is a huge problem in this community where, one, we are matriarchy led, which is a problem. It's been a problem since the time it's been converted to a matriarch. All the numbers, all the statistics for us are bad. Period, point blank. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole different day, which I'm sure I already touched on in many different episodes. But, if I have to go over it again, I certainly will. But let's just wrap this up because I'm getting tired.
Mama, we have no respect for you. No respect for your black skin. Because all of our skin folk ain't our kin folk. And you do not belong to black people at all.
So that's my point. She's speaking on behalf of black people. No, you don't speak on behalf of black people. No, you don't. No, you damn sure don't. So that's a problem. No. The days of the quote unquote, strong black woman speaking on behalf of black men and the black community is over. Over. We need to take back our homes, take back our thrones. We have to. We've seen what has happened over the decades of being led by the matriarch. And again, no offense, but we cannot allow these women to lead us when most are in situations where it's super beneficial for them to rely on the government. The same government that 90% of them will be mad about and talk bad about. They get their benefits from their EBT, all the benefits. Come on, I don't want to name no names. I don't want to throw any information out there, fuck some people shit up. But y'all know what's going on in the hood. Y'all know. I seen it first motherfucking hand. So let's not play no games there. But at the same time, they'll be the ones that say, oh my God, the cops been shot, such and such and such and such. But you know what? How many times have you called the cops on a quote unquote black man to make a Hillary? Please answer me that. Please. How many of your friends, how many of my listeners listening right now, how many of y'all have, especially if y'all women, have called the cops on a quote unquote black man or on any man for that matter? Now, obviously, if this nigga beating the shit out you, then yes, call the cop. But I mean, if short of that, especially the quote unquote blacks listening, especially y'all living in so much fear of the white man. But then the first thing y'all do, y'all want to call the goddamn cops when a nigga raises his voice or whatever, cause you was doing something crazy, or maybe he thought you was doing something crazy. We just got to think about this. Think about it. Look at it. That's our mouthpiece? And then people want to question like, why we don't get no respect? Why we don't, we just got to, no, man, look at this photo. We got this little girl here that don't know nothing about nothing. And this isn't a personal shot because I don't really know her. But based on what obviously, it doesn't take much reading to know that the whole slavery narrative is just that. And that not every single quote unquote black person over here came on a goddamn ship from the west coast of Africa. So obviously, you're out of your league in that. And you're talking emotionally. If she ever wants to talk or have a debate, which I'm not really a fan of, but just we could just have discourse. I'm more for that. We can do that. But look, she's surrounded by all these dudes, aka simps. And then need I say more? Need I say more?
All right, folks, that's not Roland Martin unfiltered video in just 1 minute. As our community comes together to support the fight against racial injustice, I want to...
All right, and that's pretty much it, man. This video went longer than I wanted it to go, and I apologize. But, this is what I've been meaning to do for a minute, and I dead ass been busy. I do apologize for the people out there that, look forward to my videos, dropping the knowledge. But I'm going to try to, get back on some kind of schedule with this. Because one, I do like doing. I do like, going over these videos and stuff like that. That way, people out here, especially the men, especially the quote unquote black men, don't fall into that paradigm of that super liberal, extra feminine energy, want to think off your emotions, act off your emotions, and fail to see the world objectively. And also fail to even try to see the world objectively. Okay? You have to understand who you are. You have to have value in yourself. You have to respect yourself. And then when you can do that, then you can begin to look at the people around you that look like you, look like your brother, your sister, your cousin, and then see the same thing that you see in yourself in them. You need to see that same value, that same respect, that same love. Because right now, a lot of our people, we do not see that. We don't have that. And that's a problem in the goddamn community / neighborhood. No one has respect or believes in a quote unquote black man. Not even himself. So how can you lead anybody if you don't exude confidence? That's why we need to start taking control of our homes, raising our kids to be men. So therefore, they can do the same, pass it on, pay it forward. And then generation by generation, we can make a change. But that's it, y'all. Peace.